Welcome to Inside the Kennel podcast. I'm so excited. It's 2026 and we've got a great big year in front of us. But listen, this guy I'm going to introduce is tough enough to be from Braybrook, flashy enough for prime time, and skillful enough to make defenders question their life choices. Welcome to the great Dougie Hawkins. There you go, Dougie.
Poor Matty. Poor, that was just magnificent. And then it is great to see your two smiling faces for the start of a season of 2026. It's going to be a big year of footy, and I can't wait, poor Matty, to get down there and have our opinion and our say about our footy club, the mighty Footscray Western Bulldogs. Can't wait for it.
Let's launch straight into it, shall we? Look, I want to start by saying to you boys, 2025 promised so much, didn't it? But ultimately, it ended way too soon. So I want to ask two things. What were the issues that prevented us from prevailing? And what are the key areas that we need to take, I guess, to make the next step?
Well, Matty, Paul, I think last year, Matty, I thought that our forward line structure was pretty good, particularly when Darcy come back. We all know that takes a lot of pressure off Aaron Norton. It gives him a bit more freedom. He gets a second or third defender as well. The boy West, Riley West, I thought was outstanding. I thought he was very, very good. And of course, if we go to 226, we're just waiting on the kid Waitman to come back. Number 3, we just hope that boy can come back from that knee injury, and we have a very, very solid forward line. Our forward line, Matty, Paul, was really good. It was very, very solid. Our midfield is as good as anything. English, DeBont, Libba. I hope Trelaw can come back into that. And the boy with the red hair, Ed Richards, best and fairest winner, was outstanding, went to another level. But yeah, our big problem, Paul, Matty, our back line. I'm not convinced about our back 6. I think number 7, Roy Lobb, is very good up the ground, where he can play across half back, run and jump and attack the footy. But I think he's in a bit of trouble when he's got to go back deep into our back line when he's playing on a big body player. I don't think he's that good at it, and I think he struggles at it. Is O'Donnell ready to do that? Do we play the boy Booker Karmas back there? Do we roll the dice and play the kid Croft at centre half back? Or I don't know. We got Bailey Dale, who is a running machine off the half back. The boy Joe Hansen now has retired, so he's gone from our running half back line. Do we chuck the mini Bont, number 27, Fraser? Do we chuck him across half back and let him run and take the game on with Bailey Dale and make them 2 running half back attackers and your back pockets squeeze up? So poor Matty, I just think our back 6 is our big, big problem.
I would agree, but I think I was talking to Matty off air before, and I think there's some new blood coming through, which I think might solve that problem. I agree with what you're saying. I think some of your solutions are really good there, and I think what you're saying about Lob might be correct. I don't know how quickly we can solve that problem. I do believe we've got a new bloke on board who's a big boy that might sort of fit in there later on. But getting back to the original question, Matty, I just thought, we were talking about this. Probably Bont's absence in the beginning of the season cost us. Certainly allowed Richards to come through and have a super year and then represent Victoria just recently. But it came down to probably not being able to take those opportunities against the Dockers in the last round, which really a game we should have won at home. But it is about centimetres or millimetres or whatever way you want to put it, guys. And things can change around very quickly. But I think there's enough optimism there, Dougie, to see our year. I think there's going to be some real freshness coming through, particularly with JJ leaving, which is a little bit unfortunate. I thought he had a pretty good year last year, but I think the club are looking forward, and I think that some of the new players coming through are going to really bolster our team this year. And I feel that as long as we can get to those games that we need to win, I think that's a really big thing, backing yourself. And I thought we should have won that game against the Dockers. I'm a bit critical of that, but looking for optimistically, I think the back line needs to develop. I think, Dougie, you're right with everything else. But, Matty, you've got the stats and the data there, mate. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, just on 2025, we had 14 wins, as we say, and that plus an incredible percentage. We had the second best percentage in the league. Now, that is the highest winning ratio in the history of the game not to make the finals. So let's just sit on that for a moment. So to miss out, we're probably in the unfortunate category. And just to touching on your point, Paul, Darcy and Bont missed a sizable chunk of the season. When they played together, we won 10 of the 12 games that they played when they were both in the same team. So when they play, we win more often than not. That's an 83% success ratio there. Also, just mentioning, we didn't have Treloar for almost the entire season. Waitman and also Jamara, who were our leading 2 goal kickers in the previous year. So there was a sizable chunk out.
You hit her on the head, Matty. Gee whiz. Darcy's going to be the best player in the competition by the end of this year and years going forward, bar an injury. He's an absolute superstar. He's a monster. He's a lovely young man, like his old man Luke. So, mate, there's so many positives, Matty, Paul. There's so many positives. I've just brought up a couple of little things about our back six, particularly against the real good, big, tall, the timber of the forward line. We just need to make sure we get that right. There's some new guys, Paul. Matty, I don't know a lot about the new talent that's come through. So you guys probably know more about that than me, Matty and Paul. I don't know a lot about the new talent.
I spoke to Matty about this, Dougie. I think English is a really important key to the success of the team this year. Mm-hmm. He made the Western Australian team like you'd expect him, but I still think that I want to see him step up with that crashing into the packs, taking those big marks that are required. And that's not necessarily about trying to make him into a Maxi Gawn type of player. I don't think he's going to be that, but he's just got to come in with his size, 6'8" frame or whatever he's got, and just take the marks and hold on to them. And so many times over the past, he's been inconsistent about holding really important marks. So I think that he's a really important player. And like you said, Dougie, about Nordo's another one who's just got that up, and that those two players, the difference between their best and their worst, it can be quite substantial. So if Nordo plays consistently well, English steps up and continues to improve and dominates with his frame, I think that's going to go a long way to make, have a successful 26.
Yep. So I've been watching the match simulations over the summer, boys, and Timmy English has been drifting back and helping out the defence. So I think that was one of the things they identified. Our back six, there's definitely some deficiencies there. We threw the kitchen sink at a few, big important defenders from other clubs. We weren't successful in the trade. So Timmy, I guess, has got to play that extra role and be that seventh defender drifting back. He can take a grab. So I think we'll see more of that, the Dempsey sort of style, drifting back and, fly in front of the packs and hopefully help out those boys back there. Now, in terms of the new boys coming through, so, not so new is Jed Buslinger. So he's in his 4th season. Yeah. And we're just waiting for him now to blossom. He's got the bigger frame. He's got a couple of pre-seasons under his belt. We're hoping this will be the year that he sort of ignites, I would have thought.
Do you rate him, Paul? Do you rate him, Matty? I don't know a lot about the kid.
Matty, I was just going to say, I haven't even thought about him. When you're talking about the back line, I didn't even consider him. So yeah, I'm not sure. Gee, this is going to be a big year about whether, is this his 5th year, did you say, Matty?
4th. This is his 4th year.
This is coming into his 4th season, yeah. This is a big year for him, but I haven't really factored him into being a solution in that back line.
Yeah, so he's certainly one of the options. We've got a new boy who came in at 201 centimetre giant. He's an athlete as well. His name's Lewis Emmett. So we picked him up with pick 27. He was actually in calculations for being a top 10 in his underage year, but some injuries curtailed that a little bit, and he slid down to pick 27. So I think he's a real steal. He's been playing not only at full back but also some ruck time, and he actually did an incredible job in the practice match just gone against Sydney on Grundy, which is a huge scalp, and looks a player. So don't be too surprised if he comes in. He's not going to be the solution straight away. He's in his 1st year, so we're not under any illusions. But
How old is he, Matty? How old is he?
He's 18. He's 18, Doug. He's
only 18.
Out of school.
Wow.
Yep. So, but I think he'll be one of those ones that we accelerate. He certainly looks the part. He looks at home, and we've got 2 running players as well to sort of replace, I guess, JJ. So we've got a guy called Lockie Jakes who we picked up last year. He's ready to go. He's had an incredible summer. He's just a beautiful user of the footy. So expect to see him sort of taking JJ's role. He bursts off half back, a real penetrating kick, can take the weight off the ball as well. He looks a player. And Lockie Carmichael, who was in the Sydney Swans Academy squad, we picked him up with pick 21. He looks ready to go as well. And he's coming back from a syndesmosis injury. So don't be surprised if he gets a debut in round 0 or 1 as well. So there's some personnel lining up, including Buderick from the Suns as well as a lockdown defender, but can also sort of be offensive too. So we've got some options starting to sneak through, I would have thought.
I'm just looking at people like Luke Cleary. Where's he at the moment? He obviously secured a spot there near the end of the year. Not sure what his preseason form's been like. I know Riley Garcia's injured. Sam Davidson, really haven't heard much about him. I know he had a great year last year at his debut season. Lockie McNeil. Where do you see those sort of guys playing as well? Apart from our new guys, where do you see those sort of players that have been around for 4, 5, 6 years? That's the other question.
Yeah, so Davidson's he's fallen a little bit out of favour. He's been in and out of rehab and probably been overtaken over summer by Oscar Baker. So I think that's a sign that we're looking for a little bit more burst and pace off the wings there. And Baker has actually really encapsulated the messaging over summer, and that's just go tooth and nail. We want to run hard, and he's been incredible. So I think he's leapfrogged Davidson. That's not to say Davidson isn't a show. He's been training with the forwards now, so they're probably more likely to bring him back to his natural habitat where he was in the VFL at Richmond, and rebirth him as a forward. So don't be too surprised if we see him come back into the mix at some point. McNeil's been okay. He's probably maybe a little bit more of a depth forward, I would have thought. That's not to be too disrespectful to Lockie. He gets a job done when he's in, but I think once the likes of Waitman come back and West has obviously consolidated his spot. The other player is Artie Jones, who's had a
I was about to say him, Matty. I was about to say Artie Jones. Where's he at, Matty?
He's been unreal, Dougie. Unreal. He's actually and look, I hope Artie doesn't mind us saying this. I've watched him really closely over the years, and I think Artie has been the sort of player who doesn't mind a joke. He's been sort of a jovial, happy-go-lucky player, and I think over summer, someone's probably obviously said to him, "Listen, mate, if we're going to get serious here, you really need to knuckle down." And I've just seen a change in his attitude going down to the training. He's lost that sort of jokey side. His head down and just working really hard. His body shape has changed. He's really sort of bulked up on the chest sort of area. And he's just hitting pack from pack and just going from contest to contest. He's actually looked unreal. I mean, really, really good. So don't.
Where's he play, Matty? Forward line, forward pocket. Where's he been?
Forward pocket, Doug. He looks dangerous.
Good then. Terrific, Paul.
Good news, Dougie. Yeah, I think it's a good transition. I said to you, Matty, it's a good transition year this year. I'm just seeing a new flood or a new wave of people coming through, and people like Vandermeer and a few of those guys might be pushed a little bit in the sense of having some real competition come through.
How old's Vandermeer, the boy Vandermeer? How old's he now?
So he's just turned 27, Dougie.
27. And his injury is, what is it, Achilles, is it?
Got an Achilles sheath. It's the coating of the Achilles that goes around the Achilles, apparently, but it's only a very minor injury. And
I like the way he goes about his footy, and can be a goal kicker as well when he goes forward. So,
well, he's into his 8th season, Dougie. He had an up and down season last year.
Yeah.
But this is a season where he's got to really put a really step forward and put the threats behind him, the players that are pushing for his selection in his role, and really make a statement. I think, but that can be said about a few players this year. I think that's why it's so exciting.
Where do you see Croft, Paul, Matty, fitting into that side? If we're going to go Darcy and Norton, Paul, your thoughts on Matty? Your thoughts on Croft? Can he go back, or does he stay as a forward? What do you think?
Yeah, well, he can play like his dad as a defender, can't he? You sort of touched on that in the intro, that maybe he's the answer, because he's been playing really well as a forward. He kicked 1 goal 4 in the match practice against the Swans, so he can hit the scoreboard.
What do you think, Paul, about Croft?
Well, only on a few games we saw him play last year, Dougie. I think he's going to come in and have an immediate impact. I don't really see him as being a real lob-like tall that we were talking about, the 3-headed monster a couple of years ago. He seems a little bit more flexible than that, Matty. So I'd like to see him. I think he'll come on and even be maybe a kind of
high forward, maybe Paul, high forward, maybe a little bit higher up.
Yeah, I think so. But I think he's the mystery man about what he's going to do. Matty, tell me about Cooper Hines. You've got real big tickets on him, haven't you?
Yeah, like Cooper Hines, he's like a Clay Smith sort of character. He's no nonsense, head down. He's strong. He's ferocious, but he's a lot more skillful than Clay. Just in terms of his hands in close, he's just laser like. So I've loved his body of work over summer. I think he's probably played 12 games in his first season, so he'll build upon that. And he's been getting some midfield rotation time as well in the match sims. So he's pretty much picked himself, I think, for round 0. So look out for a big spike in his performance.
And Dougie, as well, we've got Riley Sanders and Matthew Kennedy. Where do you see Kennedy's progression this year as well? He was very effective, very hard on, kicked goals when we needed to him. Riley Sanders is a bit the same. Where do you see Riley's development?
Well, poor Matty, young kid Sanders, I mean, geez, you'd like to see him in the midfield a little bit, but how do you squeeze him in there? I mean, a tough, I think Fraser's probably before him, and we've already touched on the brilliant midfield. We don't need to touch on their names again. So where does the boy Sanders? He's number 9, isn't he? The boy number 9. Is he a Tasmanian? No.
Yep, he is.
They're chasing players down there in Tassie. Gee whiz, he shows he can play. There's no doubt about that, Paul. Matty, he can certainly play, the boy Sanders. I just wonder where, can he play on a wing? Can he play there, or I don't know.
I wouldn't have thought he had the speed, Dougie, to really play that role, but
is he smart enough, Paul? Not that I'd know about playing on the wing. You don't have to be that. You don't have to be that quick, mate. Well, you've got a bit of a footy nous as well.
Well, it's going to be just going over those players there, Matty and Dougie. It's going to be It's going to be a very competitive team to break into.
It's pretty exciting, and hopefully Bevo's got them humming, Dougie. I want to ask you this. Back in your day, to get excited before a game, were there any tunes that you guys would listen to fire up the likes of a Ricky Kennedy or a Super McPherson? Did you guys have tunes that were played by Mickey Malthouse or Wheels to pump you up?
Good question, Matty. When I reflect and look back, a lot of the players in that era under Malthouse had headsets, if that makes sense. They listened to their own music to themselves. And I remember Rick Kennedy at stages there, he may have had headsets. He didn't need it. He's the sort of bloke that didn't need that. Steve McPherson probably didn't need that. Blokes like Simon Beasley would need some bit of, orchestra stuff and all that. Cynthia and all the
classical, bit of classic.
All the classical and I'd had the head banging music and away I go, and working class man got a bit of a run every now and then. And
well, look, the reason I say it, Dougie, I've got some exclusive and some awesome news to sort of share with you.
Okay,
I've been given the all clear to share Bevo's Match Day song that he's co-written with psychedelic Aussie rock prince Andrew Kidman. Now, he's from Sunset in the Windy Hills, an Aussie band, and they've written this amazing song called Tooth and Nail that I'm going to play for you now, boys.
I'd love to have a look. Yeah, I'd love to.
Hopefully it's got some of the messages that are going to inspire the Bulldog players this season, because it's an absolute cracking track, and I've actually put it together with some of your highlights, Dougie, from the 80s, just to warm things up and to get the juices flowing. So check this out, boys.
Improvise and overcome. Feel the light and will to run. 23 turns into one. Tooth and nail. Tooth and nail. Scrapping to the nail. Scrapping to the nail. Scrapping to the nail.
Tooth and nail. How good is that?
Loved it, Paul. I loved it, Matty. I loved it. Was that Bevo singing, Matty, Paul, was it? That's not Bevo singing, surely, is it?
Bevo wrote the lyrics with Andrew Kidman, and it's Andrew Kidman, the frontman of the band.
Wow.
What do you make of it, Paul?
Hey, Dougie, first thing, I can't believe, was that Ted Whitten Oval, but I can't believe the condition of that centre of that ground with that mud, Dougie. You would never let that happen these days. How could you play under those conditions? My goodness.
I wake up on a Saturday morning, 9:30, look out the window and I go, oh, you little beauty. Rain a bit more, particularly at the old Western Oval, Whitten Oval. Oh, the damn track on that outer wing. Oh, it was always sloped out that side and it was always a little bit wetter. Oh, mate, it was fantastic. I used to just dream for it to be wet. Beautiful.
Matty, tell us more about that song and what its intentions are, please, mate.
Yeah, so some of the key lyrics that you would have heard is tooth and nail. And so, Bevo really wants them to say, you know what, it's every minute of every game, you're scrapping and you're fighting hard. So that's one of the key messages in there. And yeah, the tune's been playing over in my head on loop.
Isn't it amazing, Matty, Paul, touching on Bevo? You know when we won that flag, you know how long ago that was?
10 years ago.
10 years ago. Has that gone quick, Paul, Matty? It was like yesterday sitting at the MCG, up there with Rayleigh, my wife, watching those boys do something which was just magnificent and special over that 4-week period under Bevo. That was bloody 10 years ago.
Incredible.
How quick has it gone? I reckon we're due for another one. 10 years down the track, this could be the year 2026. Let's hope and pray that. But that was 10 years ago. That's amazing. That is amazing.
Crazy, isn't it? But look, boys, it just goes to show a couple of things. Maybe that 10th year anniversary is something that's prompted Bevo. But Matty, it just shows the guy. I'm sure he switches off and finds a way to relax and surf, but he's always thinking about something, getting ahead of the game, isn't he? Being something a point of difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I hope that song plays, at the home games and we can pump them up. And I'm so excited by the year ahead. So Dougie, I guess this leads perfectly into you sort of seeing where we might finish this year. And you annually release your top 8, your finals team. So have you got it for us this year?
I have, Matty. I have, Paul. I've put a little bit of time into this, boys. Someone told me there was 2 more sides in it, so I didn't realise there was 10.
There's 10 this year.
There was only 8. But 10th, I go Power.
Power.
That's enough there because Zach Butters are going to leave and play with us next year. So that's all over the line, Paul. Matty, we got that all covered. The boy from Darley.
I was wondering what you're doing in your spare time, Dougie. That's what you've been doing, have you?
A lot of coffees down the local fish shop with his dad, with Wayne. So we'd love to see Butters in a red, white and blue. That'd be fantastic. And I reckon the Dockers, I think they'll finish 9th.
Wow.
I think they're not a bad side, the Dockers, and I think they'll finish 9th. Now, going 8th, Matty, this is going to probably rock you boys.
Uh-oh.
And all of our diehard Bulldog supporters, and I think we'll finish 8th.
Wow.
What do you blokes think?
I thought, Matty, I wanted to have a guess at the beginning of the segment, but I was going to say 5th or 6th.
Matty?
Look, my optimism around the Dogs, and I'm feeling really strongly we're going to finish the top 4. So I've almost got a tear dropping out hearing you putting us at 8th. But you've been so accurate over the years. We will bow to that. If we finish 8th, that means we play the team that finished 9th. So we'd be playing Fremantle in a first final. Would you fancy our chances against the likes of Freo?
Well, Paul touched on it. We didn't beat them last year, but we'd beat them this year. Don't worry about that. So 8th, don't forget, boys, 10 years ago we won the flag from 7th. So let's not be too on my prediction about us finished 8th because the boys have done it before. 10 years ago, Matty, Paul, they won it from 7th, didn't they?
Yeah.
They got the Swans 7th, Sydney Swans.
Wow.
I think they'll be pretty good, Paul, Matty. I think they'll be a very good side. We could finish in front of them. Don't worry about that.
Is Charlie Curnow a big factor in your Swans being 7th?
I think he'll be ready to go, Paul. I think I think that's going to help Carlton him out because it opens up their forward line a bit more. I think that with Mackay now. Mackay might play a little bit deeper. I think he can play Curnow, make no mistake about that, and he'll be very, very good for Sydney.
Yeah,
Sydney's midfield, Paul. Sydney's midfield's really good, Paul, Matty. Their midfield's terrific.
Yep.
Heaney, Warner, and Goulding, or his name is, number 21.
Yep.
Good players. Hawthorn to be sixth.
Yes.
The Hawks, I think they're a pretty good side, boys. I really do. I think they're a good side. Mitchell's a good coach. Magpies, I got them as fifth.
Maggie's
I don't like them. Matty.
No.
Paul. We don't like them. Us three don't like them.
We don't like them.
But we got to give them credit when it's due, and I think they're a pretty good side. And I got the Cats for fourth. I think Geelong are a very good side, and they'll be around the mix once again.
Jeez, they never drop the Cats. They're always up.
Always, Matty. Paul, always around that they're always in that top four, aren't they? They don't seem to get out of that. So I've put them at fourth. I think the improver, when I say the improver, when GWS, I think they'll finish third. They lost Tom Green, didn't they?
They
did. He do a knee?
Yep. Yeah. So he's going to be out at extended time. So that will hopefully, put a little bit of a squeeze on them, I would have thought.
And you know what, Matty, Paul? I tell you, he's going to have a big year, real big year, and I think he can play a bit, and I think he's got over a few of his personal issues. Clayton Oliver. I think Oliver's a terrific player, and I think that he'll go there with that fire in his belly. Over the last few years at Melbourne, he hasn't really played to where he probably wants to play or capable of playing. Oliver will fill in for Tom Green. Make no mistake, he's going to have a monster year. He's 81 for the Brownlow medal. Not that I've checked it, but I have checked it. Clayton Oliver, he's 81-1. So I think that he'll be added into that side. I think they're a pretty good side, GWS. Wow. And the other improvers are Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Do you blokes rate them? Do you rate them?
Wow.
I think our boy, Jamara, mate, we know he can play. We know he can play, and he had a shit year last year. Personal issues and problems, and all mail I got back from the Gold Coast that he's hasn't missed a beat. Jamara Paul, he's been terrific, Matty. That's what you know what? We're going to be disappointed, and we're going to be upset as Bulldogs. But for the kid, it's just good to see that he's got his life back on track, and a big part of that is his footy. And we know he can play. He can certainly play, and Petrarca's gone there. And did Petrarca go there from Melbourne?
Yeah, he has.
Did he go there too? He did, didn't
he? Yeah.
They've loaded up. They're pretty scary, Dougie. So second, if they finish that high and they get a home final or two, they might be scary to almost be a shot to make the big dance.
So, Matty, Paul, I'm tipping a Queensland Grand Final.
Oh.
Am I? Yeah, I am. I can't again go past the Lions. I can't go past Brisbane. They've got a terrific coach in Fagan. They've got a very, very good list, and they've got some younger players that are outstanding. Correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, Matty. I've got a feeling that Josh Dunkley, ex-Bulldog, is now a co-captain with Lockie Neal stepping down. Been outstanding for them. Make no mistake about that. So we're going to replay this, Matty and Paul, and you know what? I hope I'm bloody wrong, and the Bulldogs are in the top four, and they stick it right up me. They stick it right up me, as the great EJ would say. Stick it right up them, Dougie. But I just like the Gold Coast and Brisbane. I just think he's a fantastic coach. You know what? They don't like him, Chris Fagan, the Brisbane Lions. They love him. And you see that love and the passion when they play for him and the love that he gives to them, mate. That'll be 3 in a row like they did in 2001, 2 and 3, wasn't it?
Yep. Now, with your top 10, Dougie, you know who's going to absolutely melt down once they get this podcast is Carlton supporters. They're nowhere to be seen.
Who, the Blue Baggers? How good's that?
Yep. Yeah, let us know what you think about it, Carlton supporters, in the comments. We want to read all about it.
Jeez, I'll be assassinated when I go. I'll be able to get out of my house now. Forgot about that. Matty Carlton. Oh, no, leave me. That's Sam Welsh. He signed a 10-year deal? No.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah, 8.
8
For
years.
how much?
Yeah.
10 million?
Yeah.
Something
That's a
silly.
joke. I'm not being rude. That's a joke. I like the kid, number 18. He's a good player.
He's
He
age
missed a
25.
bit of footy. Hey?
He's age 25, so he's going to be 33 by the time the contract finishes.
I reckon it's ridiculous. I just think that's just absolute ridiculous. And you hit it on the head, Matty. Been injured last year. Mate, the kid's a good player. Make no mistake about him. When he's up, it gives Cripps a bit of a chop out as well. Mate, he's a good player, Welsh. But that's just ridiculous. 8 years for 10 million. That's just bullshit. I can't cop that. Anyway.
Doug, we've got to get to the team for round 1. So thanks, boys, for helping select this team. Let's have a look how it goes from the back line. Bramble, O'Donnell, Buderick, what do we think?
Bramble was good last year, Paul. Bramble was good. O'Donnell's getting better. I don't know, Matty. Paul, I don't know a lot about Buderick. Where's he from?
Yeah, so he's a Gold Coast Suns player, and he's played forward and back. He's explosive pace, so he's our sort of replacement, I guess, for JJ or Taylor DeRay. If he needs to play that lockdown role, he certainly can. But he's small like Caleb. He uses the ball beautifully, and I think he's going to be a good solid addition.
And his preseason form's been good, Matty, you were saying?
Strong, yeah, really strong. So yeah, he's a walk-up start, no doubt. So that's the back three, and hopefully they're ably supported by Bailey Dale. I've put an underline under him because he's under a little bit of a speculative selection. He hurt his knee last week, so he may or may not play. They're resting him for this week, and hopefully he gets up. And it'll be a side lob, and also our debutant. We're expecting Lockie Jakes to pull on the Guernsey for the first time. And then the midfield, or the centre line. Williams, your boy Fraser, Dougie, and Oscar Baker, who's lit it up, as we said, tooth and nail style on the wing.
Well, Paul, I reckon Williams has been pretty consistent. Number 34, is that right, Matty? Paul, F34. Yeah, good balance, reliable, steady, been good. Fraser, well, I think he's an absolute. He's going to be a really, really good player. Everyone calls him the mini Bont. That's a big rap. And the boy Baker, number 13, he's got the moustache. That's him. Is he the boy from Melbourne? No, not Melbourne, was it?
Yeah, that's right. He was from Melbourne, and he sports the Phil Mayland moustache magnificently.
It does, Matty. So you like it? You like that, Paul? That midfield, that centre line?
I was just about to say, Matty, that is a superb centre line. That is very, very impressive. I like it.
Yeah, would have thought so. And here's the forward line that Dougie's absolutely loving. Let's check it out. So here's the 6 of them all up. So Sanders, Norton, and Kennedy. So you've got your wish there, Dougie. You wanted those 2 midfielders out there somewhere. So we play them as half forwards, and we've got Riley West. Sammy Darcy, who's underlined, he's got a bit of a sore shoulder, but we expect him to play. And Arthur Jones, who I said has absolutely lit it up.
Well, Paul, I don't mind it. You got your 2 marking options. Westy 1-on-1 can certainly mark it over his head if he has to. Kennedy, I thought last year was really consistent. Great opportunity for the boy Sanders to. I hope he just doesn't play half forward. I hope he gets a bit of a chance to get out of there, because you know what it's like, Paul, Matty. You can play half forward flanker and it can be a nightmare. It can be a graveyard it can be a graveyard half forward flank. But footy's different now than it was when we played on a half forward flank, and West, Jones, Darcy, Norton, and it's Croft. Matty, is he available, Croft?
Well, I can't remember where you picked him. Well, let's forward.
Where did I put him? Where did I put Croft? I can't remember what I've done with him.
Let's have a look. Well, here's your followers. Obviously, Timmy English, Eddie Richards, your man, and the Bont. So, come on, how good is that? That's unstoppable. I haven't seen where you put Libba. You better have included him.
Did I drop Libba?
There he is. You've got him in. That's all right. Yeah. So you've got Libba. I've underlined Trelaw that you've listed just because, again, he is going to be playing some minutes on the weekend. We hope he's picked. He may or may not. We've gone Buku, Cooper Hines, and there's your Jordan Croft as your fifth person on the bench now that there's 23 on the team. So, we've got some rotations there. That bench is pretty elite.
Yeah,
it is, Paul, isn't it, Paul? It's pretty elite, Paul,
definitely.
because the bench these days, Paul, doesn't mean much if you start there. You're on and off, aren't you? And I like Cooper Hines too, Paul. You touched on him and Matty.
Yeah, we
I
talked
like
about
him,
that.
Cooper Hines.
Look, that follow as English Richards Bonabelli could be an All-Australian list there. I love West and Jones. I think West is the inside player. You got Darcy, a big tree there for them to hover around, and you got Jones, who can be an outside speed with a zest and skill. A bit concerned about the Sanders and Kennedy speed or pace, but like you said, Dougie, it's a different, that looks very, very impressive.
Yeah, they do, Paul. They tackle, chase, harass. One thing about it, Paul, Matty, the Sanders and Kennedy, including West and Jones, they'll keep the footy in.
Yeah, that's
If
it.
it goes in, it won't come out easy, let me tell you. They'll tackle, chase and harass and hound the opposition. No doubt about that.
There it is. So Bulldog fans, get excited. That's Dougie and Paul and I's 23. Let's hope it gets a win. So, let's finish off, Dougie, with your predictions. So, as we do with all the podcasts, we want the first 5 rounds. It's critical we start off well, but believe it or not, we've been told to have the hardest draw of all the teams for the first 5 weeks.
Oh, Matty, Paul. Can I go now?
You can go when you give it 5.
So who we got first up, Matty?
So we've got the reigning premiers on their home deck at the Gabba, Brisbane Lions.
And they're going to put their flag out, unveil their flag.
Dougie, if you're ever going to beat them, it's going to be round 1 in Brisbane, isn't it? Surely. If you're ever going to beat them.
Yeah, mate. Paul. I mean, these things can cause a few issues, can't they? I mean, the flag unveiling again and the hype and expected to win at home, and the pressure's going to be right on them. There's no doubt about it, Paul. You might be on the money there, mate. You might be on the money, Paul. I didn't look at it that way. I've just looked at how I sort of rate them and how I think the Brisbane Lions are on their home deck with the flag. Geez, mate, we need to be right at it. Don't you reckon, boys? We need to be right at it. On their home track, I just think they might get us. I think they might get us.
All right. So we're 0-1 after the first. We go down to the
0-1.
Lions. Fair enough, Dougie.
Who we got next, Paul?
Well,
Matty?
believe it or not, and this is a team that I think you said are going to finish third. We've got GWS. It's on our home deck, and we've got Bevo's song playing through the speakers. Can we get the job done?
Well, we can, Paul. Matty, we can win that one. I think we can win that. As I said, I've rated them very, very highly.
Yeah.
I'm tipping we can beat them. At Marvel. That's our first win, in my opinion, Paul and Matty.
All right.
We've got that healthy rivalry, Matty. We've got that healthy rivalry that I think still goes on. So that's a winner. Yeah, I think we can win that.
All right. Well, our mate Toby Green, let's send him off in style. Round 2, our third match. We've got Adelaide at Adelaide Oval.
Is that Adelaide Oval? You've had a pretty tough couple of games, 3 games already. So I've looked over this, Paul, Matty. I haven't even looked at this, to be honest. You're leading me into this, so I'm just going as we go. Adelaide at Adelaide. I'm not sure about Adelaide. I don't know if they're the.
You haven't got them in the top 10, Dougie.
No, I haven't. I didn't have them. I didn't have them in the top 10. No, I didn't. You're right. Paul, you're right. We can get them. Because we need to be at our best over there. All those crow eaters, when they start yelling and screaming at the Adelaide Oval, drive you crazy. We can get them, but boys, geez, I'm not over confident. How's that?
All right, we've got the win. You've given it to us, just.
Yeah, we can get the win. Yeah, that's 2, is it?
Yeah,
we can get the win. We get, just a tough draw first up. Who we got next, Matty?
Well, believe it or not, round 3 we've got the bye, so we'll freshen up for round 4, and we'll
win that one, Dougie.
We'll win that one.
We'll win that. Yeah, you're right, Paul. We've got a bye.
I'll put my reputation on the line for that one, Dougie. We've got it.
So round 4 we've got the Bombers at Marvel.
Oh, morals, absolute morals. But there's 3 out of 4. I was a bit okay. We're capable. We'll beat them.
All right. Well,
Braybrook could beat the Essendon. Braybrook could beat Essendon, and they weren't. The only problem, they were in the same colours.
Under 17, you're talking about?
Yeah, that's right, Paul. But we're in the same colours, Essendon jumpers. But mate, they're no good. The Bombers. We'll knock them over. Skittle them easily.
All right. So we move into round 5. This is the last one we're previewing, and it's at Adelaide Oval again. It's the gather round. All teams go to Adelaide, and we play the mighty Hawks.
Is it the Adelaide Oval or Norwood or Adelaide Oval? We can beat them there. Paul, what do you think?
I think so. I don't think any of those are difficult. I think Essendon, Hawks, and Adelaide. There's no advantage on home grounds. GWS aren't as much as I think they are. I think we can beat them. I think I'm thinking 4 out of 5 there.
Come on.
I don't know. I'm not optimistic, Matty, but I've been possessed by that song.
Jesus. Paul, no, you're right, Paul. But when you hear it and you just say who you're up against, the ones I like is the Essendon. I think we're morals. Yeah, Paul, you're right, Matty. We could be 4-1, but geez, it could be real tricky, boys.
Yep.
It could be 3-2. Could be. You know what I'm saying, don't you?
Yep. You've got to be at your best, and the margins are that small. Like we said last year, you take your foot off the throat, and you can be vulnerable. So we're holding you to it, Dougie. We're going 4-1. That puts us in the top couple of teams leading into round 6. So that's an exciting start. Thank you.
Yeah, good start, Paul. Good start, Matty. That'll do us.
All right, gents. Well, there it is. You've heard it from Dougie himself. The Dogs are going 4-1. So get excited, boys. We're going to play tooth and nail to sign us out and get down to Marvel for round 2. We're going to be screaming the house down. Thanks, Dougie, and thanks, Paul.
Thanks Matty. Thanks, Paul. Good on you, brother. Good on you, Paul.
Good on you, Dougie.
Improvise and overcome. Feel the light and will to run. 23 turns into